We need to humanize, right? There's a huge push right now to encourage people to have like sociopathic behavior, tendencies, and outlooks, right? Nihilism. Everything's meaningless. The We live in a hologram, or what do you call it? The virtual existence. It's all just a simulation, right? There's a infinite whatever. You're meaningless speck in time, and right, all that fun. Get people to just overall determine that everything's meaningless, and there's no need for meaning. There's no need for love. There's no need for compassion. There's no need for humanizing, right? There's only you and your little world and your little echo chamber, and that's all that matters, right? And fuck everybody else, right? You don't need them. It's just you and what you want, your little sphere of influence. And after you fuck over everybody, you can just hop, skip, and jump on over to wherever else you want to go, right? And there's other tribes, and there's other things to connect to, and there's all this other stuff. You can live in a city, you can interact with thousands of people every single day and not talk with any of them. You know, you don't need them. When you get old, you can go into the healthcare and the government will take care of you. If you're too poor, the government will help you out. So you don't have to depend on your family, right? You don't have to take care of your children. The schools will raise them. You can plop them in front of a TV, right? You can throw a little smart tablet or a phone in front of them, and they can just hop on YouTube, and that's how they can live. You know, what are we doing? Like as a nation, as a people, as a country, it's just like unfathomable the path that we are on and the fact that we have just continued to allow it to happen. We perpetuate this cycle that we all despise, but we don't love each other or ourselves enough to make real change and real differences, right? Like, sacrifice is commitment. If you are committed to something, you will sacrifice for it. We are not sacrificing. We are not committed. We are not committed to ourselves. We're not committed to the future, right? And people feel betrayed for various reasons, right? And everybody in the population has been diced up into all these little categories so they can be thrown at each other, and it can all be divisive, and everybody's a victim of something, right? And the victim can be elevated, right? Because now you're special because you're in this category of people who have been wronged, and that's something to be praised. Now, competence and things like that, they need to get cast down. And that's something that happens a lot throughout history, right? The competent individuals get brought down by the incompetent ones, and then you get lost in the sea of mediocrity, right? The participation trophies, right? Now, when it comes down to humanizing every other person, we are like encouraging sociopathic tendencies and ideologies, and just like the denigration of the self and society, but then the elevation of the self and its dependence on that society, right? Because without the state, you really can't have independence as an individual, right? You would be out in the wilderness. You break your arm, there's no hospital, you get eaten by the wolves, right? And that's the way that we were designed to exist. You have immediate ramifications for being a scumbag, right? You can't just hop, skip, and jump on over to another village, right? You can't just join another tribe. Now you can. Now you can find very specific tribes. You can find tribes for anything, whatever you're into, right? If you live in a village of like 200 people and you're into some weird shit, somebody can be like, yo, dude, knock that off. Now it's like, nah, I can hop on the internet and find thousands and thousands of people that are into the same weird shit. And now you just have a whole nother tribe. But there's no depth to it. There's no, yeah, we grew up together. We live and die and sacrifice each other in battle defending our land and our families and all of this. You see that now in the whole Ukraine. And it doesn't matter what you think about whatever the geopolitical whatever. There's people, like there are people all over the world, right? It's all people living their lives. They're a part of these systems that we prop up, and we prop up and perpetuate systems that we disagree with all the time and continually, right? You buy products from people that you do not like simply out of convenience and laziness, just to save some money, because that's what you do. You pay your taxes and you buy your shit and you just consume and you live your life, and you are propping up this system just like other people prop up other systems. And these things do evil acts towards other people. But you don't see them as people, right? You see them as other. You see them as their associated tribe, right? Their nation, their ideology, their political leaning, right? Their gender, their race, their ethnicity, their whatever. We're all people. We need to love. We need to humanize. We need to seek to understand. And it's just sad. It's sad what's happening. We need to have some pride, right? We need to have some shame. These things are very important. We need some self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, how could you love anything else, right? You'll abuse yourself and you'll abuse everything else. You'll have no loyalty. You'll have no honor, no respect, no. These are all values that need to be upheld and respected for a healthy civilization. And what we have right now is a very unhealthy one. And we see the symptoms of that continually through suicide and drug abuse and all this other fun. All the things that just make life miserable. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're just a cog in the system. Fight the system. All that fun. But yeah, we got more in common with each other than those that want us to fight. Try and stay positive. Try and do whatever. Love is the key to all of this. Just look at the fact that we are all people and act like people are people. When you're out and about, like take a genuine interest in other people. Actively love. And that's infectious. At least that's the hope. We got more in common with each other than those that want us to fight. I love ya. Go love others. My mouse is unplugged.